Today I fucked up welcoming my wife home. This week my wife was leaving town for 3 days for work, leaving me with my 1-year-old son. Now let me say, this has happened a few times already without incident, just not this time. Before she left I was mentally prepared, had a game plan, and was ready to execute. Day 1, drop him off with grandparents until 6 p.m. Pick him up, feed him chicken pot pie, give bath, brush teeth, put in baby bird mode, turn off all lights and media, sleeping by 9. I'm off to a good start. Day 2, pick him up around 6 again. Get home, stuff him with ravioli, peas, and chicken. Quick bath, brush teeth, baby bird, sleep 8:30. I'm on fire. Day 3 starts the same. Drop him with grandparents, but today pick up I'm running 30 minutes late, so they give him a quick dinner. Get home and I see him eyeing some yogurt, which happens to be his comfort food for teething. I give him a tube of raspberry yogurt and take him upstairs. We are sitting there reading his books and he is hitting his reserve snacks of puffs and quickly runs out. He opens his bag of yogurt, melts. I'm paying no attention to this, and before I notice half the bag is devoured. As I'm noticing this, my wife calls to tell me she just landed, is exhausted, and starving. Now I go into hurry cleanup mode. Give him a bath, brush his teeth, put on PJs, and get him to bed. Shortly after falling asleep he wakes up and is swallowing in a hurry. Immediately I know what is happening, as when I get terrible heartburn I do the same before vomiting. Quickly I rush him to the bathroom and he just launches it. I'm doing my best to aim him, but he wants to be comforted and keeps trying to hold on to my tighter and pull me closer. He puked all down my shirt and on the floor. Poor fellow ate too many yogurt melts and his stomach turned. Take him downstairs to throw our clothes in the washer. Get those situated, walk back to the living room, and suddenly round 2 out of nowhere all over my bare chest, arms, and floor. My dogs hear the commotion and come running. They begin to clean, and right as this is all happening my wife walks in the front door holding her luggage and uneaten fast food. My son is projectile vomiting, dogs are going crazy, and I'm the captain of this burning ship. Too long didn't read, I let my son eat as much yogurt melts as he wanted, and now I'm giving my wife an awkward welcome home. Edit. Thanks to everyone for the kind words and sharing your experiences. I'm blown away by my first award and the amazing amount of people who became a part of this story and my day. My son is doing much better today, and thank you to everyone who was concerned. I tried to respond to as many of you as I could on my phone. I wish you all the best of luck when life gets crazy. Murphy's Law right there, all smooth sailing until it needs to be, then bam, it's all turned upside down. Welcome to parenthood. I'm sure your wife will understand and find it amusing. You sound like a great dad. Smile. Hey, thanks for the kind words. I hope she will after the jet lag wears off. Bonus points for tears and snot running out of both nostrils, extra bonus points if they're not from your son. Smiley face. Not a dry eye in the house. As a mom, I am proud of you for knowing what his comfort food is and the signs of him about to get sick. Those are skills that are usually developed later in parenting. As a wife and a human, this shit was hilarious. Oh god, this reminds me of the time my child threw up on me literally 15 seconds before my husband walked through the door after being away for 2 weeks. I had a nice dinner planned, and had dolled myself up for it, but instead he walked in to see me dry retching covered in puke from the neck down. Poor little guy. But honest, too many snacks shouldn't make him puke that much. He's probably got a tummy bug. It's probably not your snack laissez-faire that did him in. Keep an eye on him. I thought about that after he kept going. This time of year always something. Took him to local ER and 150 later plus another 500 bill on the way. They said keep an eye on him. Been up all night since, seems crazy to get 1 hour of sleep. Lucky for him, got some stomach medicine. Today I fucked up by listening to the beat of a song, and not the words. Short quick one. I had a female friend for a few years. We used to work together. I thought that maybe she liked me, but she would usually make it clear that we were just good friends, and I was fine with that. One day we were hanging out at lunch, and she asked me to listen to this new song she had just heard. and thought about me when she heard it. I listened, and said yeah, it's got a nice beat to it. She looked defeated, and I wasn't sure why. So we just went back to lunch. Song was called I Want to F/You by Akon, and it basically talks about wanting to have sex with someone. Yup, I'm an idiot. She must have ended up playing that song for someone else, I guess, because she was pregnant a few months later. Too long didn't read. Female friend was interested in me, I had no idea. Looks like somebody else fucked it up and not you. The M. Night twist, she was already pregnant, just didn't know the baby daddy and was trying to lock down someone. I believe this 100%. And she went for the lockdown on Op because it seemed like an easy catch. Thankfully Op is too dense for his own good or he would have been in hell later. I think you unknowingly dodged a bullet. Edit, how the F do you not realize or hear it when a lyrics says I want to F you? Sigh, had to include. Story of my life, I have more dating F-ups, I'll probably post them here one of these days. How the fuck do you not pay attention to the lyrics of a song a girl says, I thought about you because of this song, and it's a girl you liked? This is amazing. It's like seeing a blind unicorn in the wild. Listen to Dodged a Bullet by Alice Jemima next. Today I fucked up by getting intensely throat fucked and ending up in the hospital with my mom. Throwaway account for obvious reasons. I'll start off by saying, I'm a pretty kinky girl. I know how to safely have some hot and heavy, good kinky fun. Now, I've recently moved into a new place for grad school, away from a lot of my close friends, so I've been a bit lonely at night, not an uncommon feeling for a lot of Redditors. Actually, I've been swiping through Tinder, man's most embarrassing feat, to pass the time. I'd been talking to this one dude, and of course, me being the thirsty bitch I am, brought up kinks. As it turned out, we're very compatible sexually, so I thought I'd treat myself a little and invite him over. This was last night. It was great. It was hot, heavy, steamy. Insert synonym here /. Got degraded in all sorts of ways, including some very intense face fucking. We're talking like skull fucking. Just absolute and absolute wrecking. I loved it. We finished the deed and cleanup, and I sent him on his merry way. After he'd left, I went to the bathroom to assess the damage. A very swollen uvula, that weird punching bag in the back of the throat. I wasn't worried because a skull fucking will do that to you. The key is to drink lots of liquids to help the swelling. So I went to bed a happy little slut. But cut to this morning. I wake up to a phone call from my mother. She lives a few towns over and sometimes comes to visit. But usually our visits are scheduled ahead of time and I'll have a warning before she shows up at my doorstep. Not this time. She called to tell me she was at my door with some important shit I'd left at her house when I went over for a family dinner last week. I run to the bathroom to assess my uvula once more before I see my mother, and I can barely talk. It sounds like I have strep throat. It looks like I have some sort of illness plaguing my throat. I apprehensively open the door to my beaming mother. She's going on and on about the traffic and how the dog shit on their new carpet and isn't the weather nice? But then it's my turn to speak. My voice was quivery and feeble. There's two important factors about my mother for this story. She is a doctor, and she is a prude. Hearing how swollen my throat is, she demands I open my mouth so she can check out what the deal is, you know, as a doctor would be called to do. She's in shock. Obviously it's not strep because I am in otherwise sound health. She asks me what I did to my uvula. We have never spoken about sex once in our family, so I can't be like how some dude was ramming his cock into the back of my skull for about an hour last night. Don't worry about it. I, instead, idiotically say this just happened out of nowhere. Her eyes widen, mumbles this is not good. She thinks it could potentially be some sort of fatal bacterial infection, so she forces me into the car. Oh no, I'm sitting in the ER with my panicked mother by my side and a sore throat from a brutal face fucking last night and a few worries about what I'm going to tell the doctor. Too long didn't read. I got brutally face fucked, consensually, last night, causing a swollen uvula. This morning, got a surprise visit from my mom, a doctor and a prude. Didn't have the heart to tell her my swollen throated from a face fucking, so now we're sitting in the ER because she thinks I could die from a fatal bacterial throat infection. Skull. The most disturbing part of this whole story. I ended up in the ER with my brother for sort of the same reason. After a night of heavy drinking, I woke up and went to pee and I kept feeling something laying on my tongue. Tried to touch it, I gagged. I yanked on it a bit, I gagged. I swallowed whatever it was and it was fine until I coughed and it landed on my tongue again. I check it in the mirror and see my uvula laying on my tongue. I ran out to my friend and I keep trying to tell him I need to go to the ER but I keep gagging. He's sitting there laughing, so I run out to my car and text my brother, then call him to wake him up so he sees my text. We get to the ER and they run all these tests on me but can't figure out what's wrong. It's not strep, it's not an infection or anything else. They're stumped. They say they will give me a penicillin shot and they'd send me on my way. Before they could get back, my either Googled the symptoms and asks me if I had been drinking heavily the night before. I said yes and he tells me it is just irritated from the drinking and the snoring and ice cream would take care of it. We leave before they come back with the shot and stop at Sonic to get me some ice cream. Swelling was gone within 5 minutes. Turns out I drank heavily and was singing very loudly before I fell asleep and snored even louder. Now, to make this a bit more of a fuck up, I was at lunch with my girlfriend and my brother and I asked if he remembered the time my vulva was swollen and he had to take me to the ER. He asked me if I meant uvula. I got my words confused. I don't have a vulva. I'm a guy. Sorry to hop on your FU, but this reminded me of mine. And sorry it's long. Did he slam you so hard you forgot how to spell skull? Oh my lord. Should have told her you choked on a piece of sausage. Sort of true. Underscore you choked repeatedly and violently on a sausage. Underscore. Underscore you get this from your father's side, not mine, dear. Underscore. I know how to safely have some hot and heavy, good kinky fun. Apparently not lol.